Veggie burger. The veggie burger is a meat-free patty served in a standard burger bun with the usual toppings: lettuce, tomato, cheese, and sauce. Early versions, popularized in the 1980s, were made from compressed vegetables and grains. They were functional, but not particularly enjoyable. Over time, the formulation improved significantly. Today, veggie patties are made from ingredients like black beans, lentils, chickpeas, or mushrooms. Each base brings a different texture and flavor. Black beans are dense and earthy. Mushrooms add an umami depth that comes closest to meat. The more recent development is the plant-based burger. Products like the Impossible Burger and Beyond Burger use proteins derived from soy or peas, combined with fats and flavor compounds to replicate the taste and texture of beef. The Impossible Burger even contains heme, a molecule that gives beef its characteristic flavor, derived from fermented yeast. The veggie burger's main appeal is its versatility. It fits into almost any dietary requirement and has made the burger format available to a much wider audience. Fish burger. The fish burger is built around a battered or breaded fish fillet, typically cod, pollock, or haddock, served in a soft bun with lettuce and tartar sauce. Its widespread popularity can be largely traced to McDonald's. In 1962, a franchisee named Lou Groen introduced the Filet-O-Fish to cater to Catholic customers who abstained from meat on Fridays. It proved popular enough to be adopted across the entire chain and remains one of McDonald's top-selling items globally to this day. The fish used is almost always a white fish, mild in flavor, firm in texture, and capable of holding up inside a crispy batter without falling apart. Tartar sauce, a condiment made from mayonnaise, pickles, and capers, is the standard pairing because its acidity balances the richness of the fried coating. The fish burger is lighter than a beef burger in both fat content and overall heaviness, which contributes to its consistent appeal, particularly in coastal regions and countries with strong fishing cultures.
Teriyaki burger. The teriyaki burger is a Japanese adaptation of the Western burger format, distinguished by its use of teriyaki sauce as the primary seasoning for the patty. Teriyaki sauce is a glaze made from soy sauce, mirin, a sweet rice wine, and sugar. When applied to a beef or chicken patty on a hot grill, it caramelizes and forms a sticky, lacquered coating with a distinctly sweet and savory flavor profile. The style was commercialized in Japan by chains like Moss Burger and Lotteria during the 1970s and 1980s as a way to adapt the burger to local tastes. Japanese mayo, richer and slightly sweeter than Western varieties, is commonly added, along with lettuce and occasionally a fried egg or a slice of pineapple. The teriyaki burger illustrates how the burger functions as a globally adaptable format. The structural template remains the same: patty, bun, toppings. But the flavor language changes entirely to reflect local culinary tradition.
Barbecue burger. The barbecue burger is an American-style burger that incorporates elements directly from barbecue cooking, most notably smoked or grilled beef, barbecue sauce, bacon, and sharp cheddar, often stacked with onion rings. Barbecue as a culinary tradition in the United States dates back centuries, with roots in indigenous cooking methods and later shaped by African, European, and Caribbean influences across the southern states. The barbecue burger is essentially a crossover between that tradition and the classic fast food burger format. What defines it is the layering of flavors. Barbecue sauce provides sweetness and acidity. Bacon adds salt and a smoky, fatty richness. Cheddar contributes sharpness. The onion ring adds crunch and a caramelized bitterness that balances the sauce. It is a more complex build than a standard hamburger, and that complexity is the point. Each topping is chosen to complement the others. Chicken burger. The chicken burger replaces the beef patty with a chicken breast or thigh, prepared either by grilling or deep frying. Chicken thigh is the preferred cut for fried versions because its higher fat content keeps it juicy during cooking, even inside a hot fryer. Chicken breast is commonly used for grilled versions as it holds its shape well and suits a lighter preparation. The fried chicken burger, in particular, has seen significant development over the years. The coating, typically seasoned flour, sometimes with buttermilk, creates a crispy outer layer, while the interior remains moist. Regional variations have emerged from this foundation. Nashville hot chicken, which uses a cayenne-heavy paste applied after frying, Korean fried chicken burgers, which use a double fry technique for extra crunch and a sweet spicy glaze, and Japanese katsu burgers, which use panko breadcrumbs for a lighter, airier coating. The chicken burger now represents one of the most diverse categories in the burger world, with variations found across virtually every cuisine. Classic hamburger. The hamburger is a cooked ground beef patty served in a sliced bun, typically accompanied by lettuce, tomato, onion, and condiments such as mustard or ketchup. The name derives from Hamburg, Germany, where dishes made from minced beef were common in the 19th century. German immigrants brought these preparations to the United States, where they were eventually served between bread, a practical adaptation that made the meal portable. The hamburger as a distinct food item became widespread at 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, though multiple individuals have claimed credit for the original idea. By the mid-20th century, it had become the defining product of the American fast food industry. The quality of a hamburger depends almost entirely on the beef. Fat content is a key variable. An 80-20 lean-to-fat ratio is widely considered optimal for flavor and texture. The patty should be handled minimally to avoid a dense, rubbery result, and cooked on high heat to develop a proper sear on the surface. The cheeseburger. The cheeseburger is a hamburger with one or more slices of cheese melted over the patty before serving. It is the most ordered burger variant in the world. American cheese is the most commonly used variety, and its dominance comes down to its meltability. Unlike natural cheeses, American cheese is a processed product containing emulsifying salts that cause it to melt smoothly and evenly without separating. The result is a uniform, creamy layer that coats the patty consistently. The cheeseburger is generally credited to Lionel Sternberger, who reportedly added cheese to a hamburger at his father's Pasadena restaurant around 1926, though other claimants exist. It spread through American diners and drive-ins throughout the 1930s and 40s, and became one of the foundational items of fast food menus worldwide. The addition of cheese changes the flavor profile meaningfully. It adds fat, salt, and a mild acidity that enhances the beef flavor rather than masking it. Smash burger. The smash burger is made by pressing a ball of ground beef firmly onto a very hot, flat griddle at the start of cooking, creating a thin patty with a heavily caramelized crust. The technique produces a result that differs significantly from a standard grilled patty. When beef is pressed against a hot surface at high force, the contact area increases, and the Maillard reaction, the chemical process that browns proteins and sugars under heat, occurs across a much larger surface. This creates the characteristic crispy, lacy edges and deep brown crust that define the smash burger. The smash burger is almost always served as a double stack, with two thin patties and a slice of American cheese melted between them. The cheese placement between patties, rather than on top, ensures it melts fully from both sides. The style originated in American roadside diners, but gained renewed widespread popularity from the mid-2000s onward as the technique was documented and shared online. The key variables are the fat content of the beef. A higher fat ratio prevents the patty from drying out, and the temperature of the cooking surface, which must be high enough to sear immediately on contact. Juicy Lucy. The Juicy Lucy is a variant of the cheeseburger in which the cheese is placed inside the raw patty before cooking rather than on top after. The result is a burger with a molten cheese core. The burger was developed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and two bars in the city, Matt's Bar and the 5-8 Club, have each claimed the original invention since the 1950s. The dispute has never been resolved. Matt's Bar spells it Juicy Lucy, while the 5-8 Club uses Juicy Lucy. The construction requires two thin patties to be pressed together around a portion of cheese, with the edges sealed tightly to prevent leakage during cooking. American cheese is standard because its melting properties are reliable at cooking temperatures. Because the cheese is encased in meat rather than exposed to the air, it retains heat significantly longer than a standard topping. The interior temperature of the cheese can remain extremely high for several minutes after the burger is removed from the heat. Most establishments that serve the Juicy Lucy include a warning to allow it to cool before eating. The flavor difference compared to a regular cheeseburger is notable. The cheese distributes throughout the meat with each bite, rather than sitting as a separate layer.